Are you looking for the best way to plan for 2025 and help your career coaching business go to the next level? Well, this is the video for you, because in this video, I will be diving into exactly how my team and I plan for 2025 and how we teach our clients how to do the same. If we have not yet met, my name is Daniel Botero. I am the founder of Opni, and we help career coaches take their business to the next level by helping them build more processes and systems so they can have a more scalable, profitable, and impactful business. 86% of our clients are able to build a multiple six-figure business, and our average clients, during the time they work with us, are able to generate over $16,700 and $24,000 a month in revenue, and so can you. Now, let's dive into the video. Today, I want to talk to you about how you can plan like a pro in 2025. In this video, I'm going to cover one, why planning 1 quarter of a time at a time is more effective than planning for a whole year, why focusing on one constraint at a time is more effective than trying to solve every problem in your business, and why you need to buy back your time so that you can use that time to leverage on a high value task. So let's get started. Why yearly planning fails. Now, if you haven't read this book, the 12-year book, the 12-week year, I highly recommend it. You might not even have to read it. There's probably a YouTube video. Well, there is probably tons of YouTube videos that talk about this exact same theory. And to me, I've been following this strategy of, instead of having massive yearly goals that are very hard to predict and are overwhelming and are vague, and there also allows you to procrastinate and say, you know what, if I miss the first 3 months, I still have the remaining year to catch up. I've implemented this into my business. I have an idea of what I want to accomplish in 2025, but I really only set concrete, actionable, smart goals 1 quarter at a time, because it allows me to be more predictable, right? It allows me to have more of a sense of focus, and it's easier to track progress and make adjustments and pivots. And this is especially more true when you have a business. Look, I don't know if you've ever thought about it this way, but I was talking to I have a mastermind of other fellow entrepreneurs, and we were talking about how in corporate things seem to be going fast, but in the grand scheme of things, things move really, really slow. But in a startup, every month feels like a quarter, and every quarter feels like a year. And it couldn't be more true. The amount of change and pivots and adjustments and the speed in which you're making things into your business are so much faster in a startup that makes it very difficult to predict what are you going to do for a year. And if you are like not believing that, I want to challenge you and say, how close were you on hitting your goals for 2024, right? Because you probably either massively over deliver on your goals. Maybe you thought you were going to do $50,000 for the whole year, but you did $300,000. So you massively over deliver, which meant you didn't set right goals, or you massively under deliver. Maybe you thought you were going to do $1 million a year and you only did $100,000. With whichever example or whichever scenario you have lived, that is not good goal setting, right? But if I were to tell you, hey, like, what are you planning to do in Q1 of 2025? Those goals become more accurate, and you can accurately create action plans and activities that will allow you to hit those goals. Like, so if you wanted to hit a certain amount of leads or views, you can say, okay, I'm going to create this type of post, or I'm going to generate this type of out messages to allow me to get the number of leads I need, to get the sales goals I need, to get the number of clients that I need to ultimately hit the revenue goals that I need. So that is why ultimately planning on a quarterly basis even becomes way more important as a startup than it does for a big corporation. And so my biggest advice is not to set massive, elaborate business plans for a whole year. Focus on 1 quarter at a time, or every 12 weeks. And if you didn't know this or ever came into this conclusion, there's actually 13 weeks in a quarter, which allows you to do 12 weeks of execution and then take 1 week of either vacation or to plan for the following 12 weeks. Those are great lessons from this book. Again, there's probably a YouTube video on it that will help communicate the value of why you should plan for a 12-week basis. So it's a little bit a little bit of a bait and switch here, because I'm talking about planning for 2025, But I needed to illustrate that point to then walk you through my main point here. Now, the second point that I want to talk about in this video is about focusing on one constraint at a time. You see, when I speak to coaches, I do free business audits, and I'll talk about how you can sign up for a free business audit later in this video. I do free business audits, and I speak to, my team and I speak to around 5 to 10 different career coaches every single week and learn about their businesses. And we see that over 90%, 9 out of 10 of the people that we speak with have this one problem in their business. And that problem is that they are solving the wrong problem. They are solving the wrong constraint. Either A, they're trying to solve everything in their business from marketing, lead generation, client success, sales, pricing, and website, and branding, and everything. Like, oh my God, I'm exhausted just even thinking about it. And instead of having the idea of saying, what is the number one thing I need to focus on, and how do I put all my money, time, and effort into solving that in the next 12 weeks so that I can get my business to the next level. So how do you even identify what is the thing that you're going to ultimately need to solve on so that you don't ultimately burn out and end up having to go back to corporate America or never being able to leave corporate America because you can't get your business up and running? And so that is the key. So how do you prioritize? 3 simple steps, and it becomes a loop, and you do it over and over again. Number 1, you look at the data. You look at your data and you compare that to industry standards. If you're struggling, if you don't know what that looks like, don't worry, because I got your back. You're going to be able to look at this graph here. You can either zoom in here, or we will put a link down below for you to access this graph. It looks like this. And you're going to be able to ultimately zoom in, because inside this graph, I have all the steps and all the questions that you're going to be able to ask yourself. And if the answer is yes, you move on to the next one, and it will even give you KPIs to hit. So if you're not generating, as an example, over 100 leads a month, then you trying to improve your sales closing rate doesn't matter, because you need to focus on leads. And if 15% of those leads are not turning into sales calls, then your sales script or your client success doesn't matter because of that. Now, I will also link a full video that I have talking about this particular graph and the theory of constraints to help you identify that. But the whole point that I am trying to illustrate here is that you want to look at this graphic, compare that to your data, and then understand your constraint and focus on that single constraint. Now, this is my gift to you. We at Opni offer a limited amount of free business audits every single week, because what we have identified is that most people, like I mentioned earlier, over 90% of career coaches are focusing on the wrong constraint. And this is extremely normal. And the reason is because it's very hard for you to identify your constraint when you're so in the weeds. And what happens is that we create some biases because we think sales is the problem, because maybe you have some limiting beliefs, and then you start assuming that that's your bottleneck. But when somebody comes in with a bird's eye view, with expert knowledge of understanding the career coaching businesses, they're able to do this. Look, and I will admit, I've made this mistake myself. I ultimately had to pay Alex Hermosi and his team over $30,000 so they can tell me what my constraint is, even though I do this for coaches every single day of my life, and I'm the one who created this graphic. So, to help you do this, we offer free business audits for career coaches. All you have to do is apply. There's going to be a link below. You can also go to our website. On our homepage, you can check this out, and you can just submit this form, and you'll be able to ultimately schedule a free business audit. So if you need help with that, because once you at least understand the constraint, then you're going to be able to prioritize and focus on solving that constraint. Which then takes us to point number 3, is that you're going to need to free up your time to be able to focus more of your attention on high value tasks that are solving your constraint, sales, and delivering your service. Because if you're not doing if you're not doing marketing, like creating content, if you're not taking sales calls and you're not delivering your service or solving your bottleneck, your constraint, then that is a low value task that is not generating income. So this is another book recommendation. It's also a small book but mighty book, Buy Back Your Time by Dan Martell, where it's all about understanding how to buy back your time by delegating, deleting, or outsourcing some of the low value tasks, and understanding what are the things that you do on a weekly basis by auditing your time and being able to put dollar amounts saying, okay, this task is a $10 an hour task, like checking emails. This task, like mowing the grass, is probably like a $25 an hour task. And then you can start doing this with your whole life and start hiring people. When I realized this, I hire a maid to clean my house every 2 weeks. I hire a landscaping person to do the lawn because my time is more valuable. I hire an executive assistant, and that's a big reason why I ultimately started scaling my team, because I wanted to buy my time back to be able to focus on the high value tasks. So it is really important that you start doing this, and you do, 1, audit your weekly schedule, 2, identify the tasks to delegate or automate or even hire someone else to do, and 3, reinvest your time into high value activities like strategy, solving your biggest constraint, 2, working with clients, 3, marketing and sales so that you can generate more income. And that is my biggest takeaways for you in this short video, where we focus on 1, focusing in a small business setting, focusing on 1 quarter at a time, 12 weeks, massive amount of focus and energy into point number 2, solving the number 1 constraint in your business. You identify that constraint by looking at the theory, looking at the data, looking at the theory of constraint, and putting all your money, effort, and time into solving that. And if you need help, remember, we offer the free business audits to help you identify your constraint. And then 3, buying back your time to work on what matters most. Again, if you enjoyed this video and you haven't already liked and subscribed, please do so. We create content like this to help fellow career coaches be able to scale their business, be more impactful, and be more profitable. And because I want to make sure that you understand that it's all about why you should work with us, is because it's proof over promises. Our average client at Opni generates over 243 leads a month, over 26 sales calls, over 5 clients, and over $16,742 in revenue for their business. And what's even more exciting, the thing that I am most proud of, is that 86% of our clients build a 6-figure plus business while working with us. And if you think about that and you put that into ChatGPT and you look at that statistics of what amount of small businesses fail in the first year or 5 years, it is insane to know that 86% of our clients not only thrive or not only have a business, but have a thriving business. So if you want to be next, the next step is to schedule a business audit, because in that business audit, 1, you're either going to walk away on a worst case scenario, walk away with clarity on where you're constrained, but B, that will also give us the information we need to know if we're able to help you achieve the goals that you've set for your business, whether it's a lifestyle business or whether you're looking to build the next career coaching empire, like some of the clients here in these pictures in our in-live mastermind that we had in Orlando, Florida a couple of months ago. So again, thank you so much for watching this. I wish you happy holidays in the remaining of 2024 and even massive more success for 2025. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Bye everyone. Cheers.